When it comes to sports in Lorain, your station to watch is TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Rendition of the national anthem by the Lorain High Pep Band here at Lorain High School. Again, it's a Friday night in Northeast Ohio, and this is what high school basketball is all about. Packed house here at the Titan Gym, and Lorain High getting ready to clinch the Lake Erie League championship. Standing in their way, the Tigers from Cleveland Heights. It should be a good one. We're glad you've dialed in on AM 930 WEOL. Let's review the starting lineups for you for Cleveland Heights under first-year head coach Michael Cruz. It'll be 5'10" junior Manny Hill. Hill averaging 6.3 points per ball game. He had 7 in the first matchup over at Cleveland Heights High School. Christian Dillard, another junior, gets the start tonight. He's 5'9". Christian averaging 10.1 per game. He had 11 in the first game against Lorain High. Nigel Martin in the starting lineup tonight. You heard about him during our pregame conversations. Nigel Martin, 6'4" senior, averaging 19.9 per game, and he had 18 in the first matchup against Lorain High. It'll be Jalen Withers, the young man that's heading to Louisville, a 6'9" senior, averaging 17 points per game, and he had 19 against Lorain in the first matchup. And rounding out the starting 5, it will be a freshman, 6'1", ninth grader for Cleveland Heights, Greg Pitts. Pitts averaging 3.6 per game. He did not score in the first matchup against the Titans. Fort Lorain High, having won 7 in a row, 9-0 in the LEL and 16-1 overall, ranked number 6 in the state of Ohio. It'll be 6'4" junior Jordan Jackson. Jackson averaging 9.5 per game. He had 10 against Cleveland Heights the first time. 6'6" senior Tavon Pierre Lewis, averaging 17 per game in the starting lineup. He had a dozen against the Tigers the first go-round. Deontay Benajan, 6' junior. He moved into Lorain from New York, averaging 13.8 per game. He had 15 in the first game against Cleveland Heights. Cam Davis, the defensive specialist, 5'7" senior, averaging just under 2 points per game, was scoreless in the first contest. And rounding out the starting 5, one of the best high school basketball players in the state of Ohio, 6'2" senior Devon Grant. Day-Day, as he's called, averaging 26.1 per game, and he had 28 in the first matchup against Cleveland Heights. This should be a great one here at the Titan Gym. Cleveland Heights has taken the floor. They're in their road blacks, black shirts, black shorts, gold letters and numbers. Here comes Lorain High in the home whites, white shirts, white shorts with the blue letters and numbers and the silver trim. Let's play some basketball here at Lorain High. Terry Hawk, Mike O'Keefe, and Gerald Parks are the 3 officials. Ball in the air, tip controlled by Lorain, and we are underway. Tavon Pierre Lewis on the right wing as the Titans go right to left. Got it out front to Jordan Jackson. Jackson in front of the scorer's table. Jackson on the left-hand dribble. Jackson matched up against Manny Hill. Now they give it to Tavon Pierre Lewis, left of the lane. The runner up, no, rebound grab by Cleveland Heights, Jalen Withers, and here come the Tigers to the other end. They bounce it down the floor. Ahead of the pack is Greg Pitts, who laid it up and in. So Cleveland Heights with the first 2 points of the ball game as Lorain High will head to the other end. Grant on the left side to Benajan, in between the circles to Jordan Jackson. Jackson works it to the left wing. Jackson to the free throw line, in the lane, the runner off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, fought for on the floor. Grant has it. Grant rolls over, he got tied up, and the possession arrow belongs to the Tigers. Cleveland Heights left to right on your radio dial, heading towards the lobby area, down to our right. Just underway, we had a JV game that went to overtime, so a bit of a later start here at Lorain High tonight. Cleveland Heights won that JV game 54-53. On the left side is Pitts. Left of the lane, the runner is up and in. Boy, Greg Pitts, the freshman, off to a good start. A couple of field goals, and Cleveland Heights has a 4-0 lead. At the other end, left of the lane, the runner off the glass, no good by Benejan. Rebound, Tavon, put it up, no good. Rebound, Davis, got it out front. Grant for three, good! Day knocks in a three ball, and Lorain's on the board for three. Titans within one. How about Day Grant with 59 threes on the year? Into the lane comes Dillard. Ball knocked out of his hands, but it's grabbed, and driving and scoring is Manny Hill for Cleveland Heights. So the Tigers with a 6-3 lead as the Titans head to the other end. Day Grant on the left side. Grant shoves it on the left sideline to Jordan Jackson. Jackson tosses it out front to Benejan. Benejan on the right side to Davis. Tried to get the ball to Jackson, and it's stolen away. Heading to the other end, Manny Hill. Hill drives, shot, block. Ooh, we got a foul from behind. Well, Manny Hill will shoot a couple of free throws. Mike O'Keefe with that call. And it's on Jordan Jackson. Lorain High coming into tonight averaging 82.5 per game. In fact, their last three games, they've scored 87, 87, and 85. They can roll up the numbers. Here's Manny Hill, first one up and in. 5'10 junior, a good free throw shooter at 73% on the year. Line to the right has one more coming. 6:06 to go, first quarter. Heights by 4, Heights by 5 as Hill hit them both. 8-3, Cleveland Heights with a 5-point lead. Grant to the forecourt, bounce left side to Jordan Jackson. Shoves it right wing to Benejan. Back on the left side to Davis. Left wing Grant, three ball up. Three ball right on the mark. That's number 60 on the year for Day. And it's an 8-6 ball game. Boy, he is special. Cleveland Heights to the other end. Hill on the left wing. Gave it out front to Nigel Martin, and his foul line shot right on the mark. Nigel Martin makes it a 10-6 Cleveland Heights lead. 5.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Into the forecourt comes Jordan Jackson for Lorain High. Jackson right in front of that scorer's table, works in between the circles. Now right side to Grant. Grant using a Pierre Lewis screen. Cross-court pass left corner to Davis, drives the baseline. Davis shoves it in the corner to Benejan. Runner from the baseline, no good. Rebound corralled by Jalen Withers, and he's going to bring it up himself. The 6'9 guy goes all the way to the forecourt. Had the ball knocked away from Tavon Pierre Lewis. Ahead to Cam Davis. Davis on the left wing. The runner off the glass, no good. Tavon followed and popped it home. And Tavon Pierre Lewis with his first two makes it a 10-8 ball game. Right now they've got Cam Davis right in the shirt of Nigel Martin. Oh my goodness, he doesn't have an inch to breathe. Dillard left of the lane, double team, cross-court pass right side, Manny Hill. Open three, got it. Manny Hill, nothing but net. That makes it a 13-8 Cleveland Heights lead. At the other end, three ball up, no good. Rebound out of bounds, and referee Gerald Park says that one belongs to Cleveland Heights, and for Lorain High, that's going to get Aaron Whitehead in the ball game, as Deontay Benejan will take a seat. 4:20 to go here in the first quarter of play. Cleveland Heights with a 5-point lead at 13-8. Here comes Dillard to the forecourt. Lob down low to the 6'9 Withers. Cross-court right side to Pitts in the corner. Three ball up, no good. Rebound grab by Lorain High. Jordan Jackson spins away from pressure in the backcourt, ahead to Tavon Pierre Lewis. Lewis out front for the Titans, changing hands on the dribble, gave it to Jackson. Right corner Davis, open three. Nope. Rebound though, grabbed by Whitehead. Got it underneath to Grant, and Grant will work his way back to the right wing. Open three. He hit another one. Devon Grant, 3 threes here in the quarter. And it's 13-11. Boy, if Devon has that shooting eye going, look out. We could be in for a special night. Out front, Withers, 3, right on the mark. Jalen Withers showing why he's a future Louisville Cardinal. Makes it 16-11. Into the forecourt comes Lorain. They're down by 5. Jackson in between the circles, right side to Grant. Feed the hot hand. Grant, 3. That one's off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound Withers, and then Withers got hit by Cam Davis, and the foul will be called on Cam. Cam wasn't going to get that ball away from Withers. Withers is 6'9", Cam Davis 5'7". When you give up 1 foot 2 inches, better just to back off. 16-11, Heights by 5, 3:15 to go first quarter. And for Cleveland Heights now in the ball game, Anthony Johnson, 6'4" senior. So Johnson has checked in for the Tigers. Withers in between the circles. That's a long 3. Oh, he hit it. Jalen Withers. He knocked that one in from Amherst. Makes it 19-11. Wow, was he out there. That was beyond the NBA three-point mark. Left side, Jackson. 3 ball up. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Jordan Jackson. And Jackson makes it a 19-14 game. At the other end, Johnson ahead of the pack. And we got a foul called on Johnson. They're going to say he tried to shove Tavon Pierre-Louis out of the way. So Anthony Johnson picks up the foul. Well, there's some electricity in the air here tonight. 2 outstanding programs going at it. This place is pretty full. Here's Devon Grant. Day down the right side to Jordan Jackson. Jackson out front to Aaron Whitehead. Whitehead for Lorain High. Back to Jackson. Long 3. That one's off the back of the rim, no good. And the ball tipped out of bounds by Aaron Whitehead. Well, we got to send a special shout out. You know, if Lorain High's playing, there's a listener in Baltimore. Jenna Rossitano, the daughter of Lorain head coach John Rossitano, listening in down in Maryland. Jenna, I promised your dad and mom a shout out. So there you go. So Jenna, we're glad you've dialed in. Make sure you told them you got your shout out so they just don't take my word for it. At the other end, driving and scoring for Cleveland Heights is Dillard, I believe. Yes, it was Christian Dillard. And now we got a quick timeout taken as I believe Cleveland Heights took that timeout. We also have a player down in front of the Lorain High bench, Deontay Benejan. They're kind of looking at that left foot, left ankle area. So I don't know if there was a timeout taken or if they just stopped play to let Deontay get over to the bench. They're stretching him out. And let's hope he's all right. In fact, I've got a very interesting story about Deontay Benejan coming up during the broadcast. It's a small, small world. I'll tell you about that in a moment. 2:07 to go. First quarter of play. In the ballgame now for Lorain, Aiden Brown, 6'5" sophomore. So we'll keep an eye on Benejan. And in the meantime, Aiden Brown in the ballgame. 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Titans down by 7. They're not in this position too often. Jackson, top side to Aaron Whitehead. Whitehead for Lorain High on the right-hand dribble. Whitehead gives it to Jackson on the left sideline. Taking a look over at Benejan as Jackson just dribbles the ball at the half-court line. Benejan kind of hanging on to that leg. In the meantime, Jackson out front had it stolen away by Withers, who saves it into Johnson. Johnson to the forecourt. Johnson down the left side. 3 ball in the air, right on the mark. Nigel Martin in the left corner buries the 3. And it's 24-14. And John Rossitano says, I've seen enough of this. I'm going to take a 30-second timeout. So a 30-second timeout taken by the Titans. We'll keep it right here. In fact, here's my opportunity to tell my Deontay Benejan story. So I mentioned I was down talking to John Rossitano before the ball game. Deontay comes walking back, and John says, hey, Deontay, I want you to meet Tim Elkhorn. He's the radio guy. We do all the highlights, so forth. So Deontay says, very nice to meet you, Mr. Elkhorn. And I said, Deontay, where were you in New York? He said, well, I lived in Queens. Now, my grandmother lived in Queens on 86th Avenue. Went there every summer of my boyhood and even into my adulthood. I said, where'd you live in Queens? I go, my grandmother lived in Jamaica, Queens. He goes, I lived in Jamaica, Queens. He lived about 3 blocks from my grandmother. We were talking about supermarkets and drugstores and playgrounds. I'm like, you talk about a small world. He goes, yeah, I lived right down the street. How cool is that? I go, Deontay, you're not my buddy. Here we go, off that 30-second timeout, and Lorain down by 10. They've got the basketball. Davon Pierre-Lewis, he'll shoot a three, and it rattled in and out. Rebound grab by Jalen Withers for Cleveland Heights. Withers to the forecourt. Withers down in the right corner. Three-ball Martin right on the mark. Nigel Martin, boy, he's got his shooting eye on. 27-14. Boy, Lorain High fans sitting here stunned. They're down 13 points. Devon Grant in between the circles. Grant, run of the lane, stops, fall away. Nope. Rebound, though, grabbed by Aiden Brown. Gave it off to Aaron Whitehead. Whitehead in the lane. The runner, no good. Rebound, Withers. Cleveland Heights with plenty of time. Michael Cruz saying, I want one shot right here. 10 on the clock. Right in front of the scoreboard, or score table, is Dillard. Dillard, run of the circle, run of the lane. Right corner to Withers. Withers into the lane, scooped it, missed it. Rebound Grant. That ends the quarter. Boy, a great start for Cleveland Heights. 27-14. Tigers leading Lorain by 13 at the end of one. On the WEOL Cage matchup on AM 930 and Jared Online.
At WEOL.com.
Opportunities present themselves every day. Opportunities that move us forward. Opportunities to serve part-time in your community while continuing their full-time careers or education to help keep our nation safe at home and around the globe. Explore your opportunities in the Air Force Reserve.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Lorain's going to try to dig themselves out of a hole. They're down 13, 27-14. Heights leads as we start the second. Day drives, got his shot blocked by Withers. And then Withers gave it off to Dillard, and Dillard fell down, and he traveled with the basketball. Terry Hawk with the call. Hey, coming up at the half, our Gallon Takis Boys and Alton Schaefer halftime show. That comes up at the intermission. Deontay Benajan, yes, my fellow Queens, New York guy, back in the game for Lorain High. I have a special fondness now for Benajan for Lorain High. Here's Tavon Pierre-Lewis, left of the lane, and we'll get a reach-in foul called on Anthony Johnson. Terry Hawk making that call. Again, Terry working tonight's ball game with Mike O'Keefe and Gerald Parks. Tavon Pierre-Lewis, he's saying I was in the act of shooting. Terry says, no, you're going to inbound. So Jordan Jackson gets the basketball. Titans down 13, early stages of quarter number 2. They've got their original 5 back on the floor. Day Grant on the left wing at the three-point arc. Day drops it down low. Pass stolen away by Manny Hill for Cleveland Heights. Hill streaks to the forecourt, cross-court to Dillard. Dillard in the paint tried to bounce it down low to Withers, and the ball skipped right by him out of bounds. Boy, Jalen Withers. For those of you that are watching this on WLCS TV 20, look at those bright pink shoes that Jalen's got on. Boy, he stands out down there. On the right side, Jackson for Lorain. Little stutter step to the baseline. Reverse layup, a beauty. Jordan Jackson makes it 27-16. At the other end, Nigel Martin for Cleveland Heights in the left corner. Martin guarded by Cam Davis, and he stepped on the sideline. See, there's a play that Cam Davis makes. It never shows up in the scorebook, never shows up on the stat sheet. but he was guarding Martin so closely, he literally made Martin step on the sideline. So here comes Lorain to the other end, down by 11. Benejan, left wing, pulls up, shoots, rattled in and out. Rebound grab by Cleveland Heights into the forecourt. Manny Hill stops at the foul line, shoots and hits. Manny Hill with 9, 29-16. Cleveland Heights matches their biggest lead of the night. In the right corner, Cam Davis had a wide open three, passed it up, and now Lorain will work it to the other side. Grant on the left wing. Devon Grant has 9 tonight, and now he's got 12 as he hit another 3-ball. 4 from downtown, and there's a steal by Tavon Pierre-Louis. Tried to throw it down the floor, but it's picked off by Dillard. Dillard weaves his way to the forecourt. Dillard left in the lane, threw it out front, got it to Hill. Hill in the corner to Withers, back to Hill. Hill, run of the lane, got his shot blocked. Here comes Tavon Pierre-Louis. Bounce down the floor to Benejan, back to Lewis, fumbled it, got it back. Fed it underneath to Grant, and then Grant got tied up, and the ball went out of bounds off Johnson. Things got a little helter-skelter right there. I think Lorain High actually passed up a couple of good shots. 5:34 to go first half. Lorain down by 10. Inbounds to Benejan. Gave it off to Day-Day. That'd have been a long three. Well, now he'll shoot it. Hit it! And a chance for a 4-point play! Oh, my! That electrifying shot by Day-Day. He was out on Ashland Avenue, and he buried the shot and got fouled. Oh, my! 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Oh, the fans will buzz about that one. And down the road, when you watch this on TV 20, Joe Bach will have to show you the highlight. Oh, my. How far out was Devon Grant right there?
34-footer, maybe. I mean, that was from some serious distance. And, Tim, I think the quarter break did the Titans well, and they have come out here with a renewed sense of vigor as you're watching. And it's tough when you're battling back, and you see that's still a double-digit lead, and you keep chipping away and chipping away. And if you can convert this, how big is a 4-point play combined with that turnover that Cam Davis forced over there? Those are the things that chip away at something like this.
Boy, Day-Day Grant with 5 threes in the ball game. He's got 15. He'll be looking for 16 at the free throw line. He is special. He's one of the most special players that the city of Lorain has had the honor and privilege of watching. And when you talk to John Rossitano, he'll tell you Devon Grant is a better young man than he is a basketball player. He's just a stellar representation of Lorain High basketball, and it's so cool to see. So here's Grant, line to the left, spins that basketball, sends it up, sends it in. He's an 87% free throw shooter. The 4-point play makes it 29-23, and now in the backcourt, the ball knocks out of the hands of Morgan, out of bounds. Robert Morgan, 5'9" senior, had just checked in for Cleveland Heights on that free throw, and Morgan had it knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. Lorain gets it back, and they've cut it to 6. Grant in the left corner. He is on fire. Grant one-on-one against Morgan. Grant, 3-ball off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, though, grabbed in the lane. Jackson up, Jackson no. Rebound knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with Lorain High. Titans are making their move. They were down by 13. They've cut it to 6. Jackson on the near sideline. Got it into Tavon Pierre-Louis. Pierre-Louis at the top of the circle. Pierre-Louis on the dribble. Left wing Jackson. Jordan for 3. Around the rim and out. Rebound Johnson for Cleveland Heights. Behind his back on the dribble. Lost the ball. Loose at the half-court line, but grabbed by Withers. Fires left side to Martin. Got it back out front to Withers. He'll shoot from 3. Miss it badly. Rebound Jackson ahead to Tavon Pierre-Louis for Lorain. Tavon Pierre-Louis at the 3-point arc. Steps back. Shoots. Missed it. Rebound corralled by Cleveland Heights' Greg Pitts. Pitts down the floor to Nigel Martin. 3-on-1. Martin in the middle. Martin drives. No, but Tavon Pierre-Louis fouled him. So Tavon Pierre-Louis picks up his first foul. Hey, don't forget tomorrow morning, 9 to 11 on AM 930. We've got the WEOL Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up. Yours truly, Z Zoltai. There's a dynamic duo for you. Z and I tomorrow morning. Joe Bach loves that show. Martin, line right, 73% free throw shooter. Shows why right there as he hits the first. I'm a busy guy tomorrow. Then tomorrow afternoon, I'm heading over to Amherst. I'll have the Lady Comets and the Shore Gals from Avon Lake. The prelude to the party. Second one up and in for Nigel Martin. He's got 10. Makes it 31-23. 8-point lead for the Tigers. 4:25 to go. Well, it's been a good one so far before this huge crowd at the Titan Gym. Devon Grant, left side, 3-ball. Nope. Rebound grab by Withers for Cleveland Heights. Bounces it to Robert Morgan, 5'9" senior, ahead to Johnson. Johnson with his back to the basket. Grant reached in, and he forced Johnson into a travel. Well, the basketball belongs to Lorain High. But every year, Avon Lake girls head coach Dave Zavara, of course, he lives in Amherst, works in Amherst. Well, I don't know if I'd say works, but he has employment in Amherst. He has a party after that Avon Lake Amherst game, and he always invites Jared and I to come over for a great pasta dinner. Devon Grant fouled in the forecourt.
I can't wait. That's circled on the calendar just like the Christmas fiesta is every year when you have that extravaganza. It's the same sort of situation tomorrow afternoon, only you're doing it in the PM instead of the AM. So, but the feedback is tied on.
Lorain to inbound, down by 8. Out front, Tavon Pierre-Lewis against Johnson. Lewis drives. Lewis missed the layup, though. Rebound grab by Withers. Outlet pass to Morgan. Bounce on the right side to Martin with a stutter step. Heads to the bucket, put it up, and foul is called on Lorain High. So Martin's going back to the free throw line. They got Devon Grant with that one. That will be his first. So here's Martin shooting 2. Nigel Martin, as Michael Cruz said during our pregame shows, getting several Division I looks and Division II, but obviously seeing what may transpire once the season ends as far as official offers are concerned. Martin hits the first. He's an impressive looking player. He's got 11 tonight. Line to the right, second one up, no good. Rebound Aaron Whitehead for Lorain, and then he threw it off of Pitts out of bounds. 32-23. So Cleveland Heights up by 9. They've led by as many as 13. Here comes Lorain with 3:40 to go in the first half. Tavon Pierre-Lewis behind him to Aaron Whitehead. Sideline left to Deontay Benajan. Got it out front to Grant. Day-Day long 3. Good! That's number 6 on the night. And he's got 19. Wow, 32-26. 3:15 to go in the first half. Withers between his legs on the dribble. Withers near the half-court line, hands it off to Morgan. Morgan, run of the lane, got it in the corner. 3-ball is up, no good. Rebound grabbed by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Here comes Lewis. Tavon Pierre-Lewis shovels it underneath. Ball deflected, out of there with it, Withers. Withers into the forecourt. Left side to Martin, down in the corner. 3-ball on the way, missed by Morgan. Rebound grab by Lorain. Day-Day to the forecourt. Grant on the left side. Grant whipped it down low to Aiden Brown, and he got fouled by Morgan as he went up with the shot. Robert Morgan commits his second foul. Again, for you folks listening in Lorain tonight, you're going to be able to watch this one pretty soon on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. Great big thank you to Joe Bach. How do you spell that? B-O-C-K. Yes, Joe Bach from WLCS has tied into our audio feed tonight. Of course, don't forget the TV 20 YouTube channel. That's incredible. Everything and anything is up there, including, I'm told, classic Alcorn calls from the 80s. Oh, no. All right, you can scroll by those, but check out everything else. Boy, Aiden Brown missed them both. Rebound out of bounds, and it went off Cleveland Heights as Martin couldn't save it, so a break for the Titans. But as I mentioned earlier, all their social media, Facebook, Twitter, Joe Bach does an unbelievable job. Whitehead, baseline right to Jackson. Jackson outside the three-point arc, right in front of the Tiger bench. Top side to Tavon Pierre-Louis. In between the circles to Whitehead. And Whitehead got a little bit of a push. Sixth team foul on Cleveland Heights. And that one was called on Manny Hill. That is his first. 2:28 to go, first half. Jackson to inbound. Lorain down by 6. Lobs it in to Aiden Brown. Back in the corner to Jordan Jackson. Jackson got it out front to Whitehead. Whitehead spins away from Withers. Tough shot in the lane. Rolled around the rim and out. Rebound Martin. And Martin got tied up by Tavon Pierre-Louis. The possession arrow belongs to Cleveland Heights. 2:16 on the second quarter clock. Cleveland Heights had a 13-point lead. It's down to 6. Withers into the forecourt, right down the lane. Scoop, missed it. Rebound Aiden Brown. Gave it off to Aaron Whitehead. Shoves it to Devon Grant. Day left wing to Tavon Pierre-Louis. And Tavon got a bit of a bump on the baseline. Boy, that's 3 fouls on Morgan. And that also will put Cleveland Heights over the limit. So that's 7 on the Tigers. Tavon Pierre-Louis. Rather quiet night tonight. He's got a bucket for 2 points. Averages 17 per game. Not the most proficient free throw shooter. Tavon at 53% on the year. Line left. Trying to draw Lorain a little bit closer. First one up and in. Tavon now with 3. Makes it 32-27. Up next for Lorain High, Tuesday night, home to Elyria Catholic. That's their final home regular season game. As Tavon hit them both. Of course, they will be home for the first round of the tournaments. Pretty much guaranteed the #1 seed in Division I at the EC sectional district. Withers, right of the lane, and Jared Park says he traveled with him. Well, Lorain has gotten to within 4 and a chance to draw to within 2. And if the ball is in Day-Day's hands, maybe 1. He's got 6 3-balls here in the first half. And Day-Day's on the dribble. Devon Grant into the forecourt, lob left side to Cam Davis. Davis at the top of the circle, shoves it near the half-court line to Jordan Jackson. And Lorain has spread it out. Jackson's pass to Tavon Pierre-Louis deflected. Lewis got it back. Tavon top side, shoves it right wing. Davis, he shoots to 3, missed it. Rebound tipped off the glass. Withers has it. Withers fell down, and they're going to say he got pushed down. And Gerald Parks with the call, and now Terry Hawk is just teed up. Jalen Withers, there was a little jawing going on after that tie-up between Withers and Cam Davis. And Terry Hawk said, I'm not going to have anything to do with this. And so Jalen Withers got teed up. Now we'll have to sort this all out because we had a tie-up. Although the possession arrow, I believe, was going Lorain's way anyway. So they've got the technical foul. Actually, there was a foul on Cam Davis. So there was a foul on Cam Davis. It was not a tie-up. So now Terry Hawk's going to say, all right, let's sort this all out. We're going to have free throws for Lorain on the technical foul called on Jalen Withers. There was a foul on Cam Davis, but it did not put Lorain High over the limit. So I would think the ball goes back to Lorain, and I think that's what Terry Hawk, Mike O'Keefe, and Gerald Parks are trying to figure out right now. So now Terry's going to go over and have a conversation with Michael Cruz, and he's going to say, all right, Mike, here's what I got. I've got your guy with a T, and the ball goes back to Lorain on the technical because your team wasn't over the limit. And Michael Cruz now stating his case to Gerald Parks. And so, well, he got Gerald Parks to have a conversation with the other 2 officials. And you know what? If the officials discuss it and get it right. That's all you can ask for. But now John Rossitano has put himself in the conversation. He's saying, hey, you can't let Michael Cruz dictate to you guys what the call's going to be. I'll tell you what, I do think this is a good piece of officiating right here. I know the fans are going to get impatient with it, and at some point you have to make a decision. That being said, get it right. And so Terry Hawk, Mike O'Keefe, and Gerald Parks, they've talked amongst themselves. They've talked to Michael Cruz. They're talking to John Rossitano. And I think once, the heat calms down a little bit, I think that's all coaches will ask for. Explain it to us and get it right.
Yeah, John just wants cross-examination right there is basically what it boils down to. Back to the foul on the floor, though. Cam Davis was on top of him, kind of standing over Withers at that point. Withers took offense to it and basically came up as if he was going to rough up Cam Davis a little bit. Now, Withers is a heck of a lot closer to 7 feet tall than Cam is to 6 feet tall. And I think that had something to do with the way and the trajectory with which Cam was pushed off.
So I think they have sorted this all out, and I think my original guesstimation is going to be correct. I think Devon Grant's going to shoot the 2 technical free throws, and then Lorain's going to get the ball, as Devon now has a 20-point first half as he hits the first. And he's got one more coming. Grant line left, sends it up, got it. He's an 87% free throw shooter. The only thing he doesn't do is sell popcorn to Joe Kazura. So it's 32-30, and Lorain will get the ball. See, if they had just asked me like 3 minutes ago, and I think Michael Cruz was saying the foul was on Lorain, but because Cleveland Heights wasn't shooting 1-and-1, Lorain gets the ball off the technical. So here we go. Titans have pulled it within 2. Alley-oop, Tavon Pierre-Lewis, went to the lane, up, good, and we're tied. Lorain has come all the way back from the 13-point deficit. 32-32. Left wing, 3, nope. Rebound Jackson for Lorain High. And then they called Jordan for a travel in the backcourt. Tried to go behind his back on the dribble. Terry Hawk says, nope, you took a little hippity hop when you did that. We need to get a picture of Day-Day selling popcorn to Kazura. Put that in the yearbook. 59 seconds to go. And the pass down low deflected. Martin got it back. Martin powered it up. No, but he got fouled. And Nigel Martin took it right to the body of Tavon Pierre-Lewis. That foul on Tay-Tay is his second. They may get Tavon out of there with the 2 fouls. Let's see what John Rossitano elects to do with Nigel Martin at the free throw line. So here's Martin, first one up, in and out. Jared, other scores?
We got plenty over at the half, and you can check this one out online at WEOL.com, stream number 2. Bay leads EC 20-19. End of 3, Avon Lake over Amherst 43-36 at the half. Westlake over Midview 34-30 at the half. Ridgeville leads North Olmsted 35-26.
Nigel Martin breaks the tie. He hit one of the 2 free throws. 33-32. Lorain down by 1 with 40 seconds to go. I don't think they're going to play for the final shot here. Pierre-Lewis out front to Whitehead. Bounces it down low to Day-Day. In traffic, put it up. Oh, that was Jackson, actually. That was Jordan Jackson with the nice little shot on the baseline. And Jordan gives Lorain a 34-33 lead. A 13-point Cleveland Heights lead has been vaporized. Out front, Nigel Martin. 15 on the clock. Martin. 3 ball, no good. Long rebound, though, grabbed by Pitts. Pitts in the lane, rolled it up and in. Pitts makes it 35-34. 4 on the clock. Into the forecourt, Benejan. Left wing, Pierre-Lewis. His 3 ball, off the rim, nope. And that ends the first half of play. Cleveland Heights led by 13 at the end of 127-24. Lorain High rallied back, actually led for a moment at 34-33, but Cleveland Heights heads to the locker room with a 1-point lead, 35-34. Tigers by 1 over the Titans in a terrific battle here at the Lorain High gym. 35-34 Cleveland Heights. We're at the half.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Soon after leaving the Navy, Lieutenant Chris Scott found a job, a home, and started a family of his own. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, each of these veterans fell on hard times and faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, even after Chris wasn't able to pay his mortgage, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they each reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That call got Michelle a place to stay until she could afford one of her own, put Chris in touch with employment assistance, and found Richard a substance abuse program. These veterans are success stories not only for how they were able to help others while serving their country, but for how they were able to let others help them. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
For the thousands of wounded warriors returning from battle, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a unique program that helps wounded warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. The Warriors to Work program also works with employers to find the right job for the right warrior. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Hey Luda, got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm really worried. One of my friends is living on the street.
I know someone who can help.
Who?
1-800-RUNAWAY.org. They help kids having a rough time at home, in school, or on the street. You can do a live chat on their site. They will help get her to safety.
Thanks, Ludacris.
Trust the National Runaway Switchboard. If you're having a hard time, get online or call to chat now.
Inspiring city and campus. Inspiring people. Inspiring creativity. Inspiring hands-on learning. Inspiring global experiences. Inspiring traditions. Be a Buckeye. Inspire.
In an instant, life can change. Hi, I'm veteran J.R. Martinez. If you've been hurt or disabled due to your service, the last thing you need to do is hurry up and wait for a VA claims decision. Make sure you file an electronic, fully developed claim, or e-claim, for disability compensation on e-benefits. It's the fastest and easiest way to get a claims decision. Learn more at ebenefits.va.gov. E-claims and e-benefits, online VA claims made simple.
Quickly, looking at the numbers here in the first half of play, we'll take a look at shooting percentages. Cleveland Heights was 12 of 21 from the field, a scorching 57%. They were 10 of 12 in the first quarter. That number dipped considerably in the second quarter of play. 6 of 7 from the line, 10 rebounds to go along with 5 turnovers. For the Titans, who find themselves down 1 here at the intermission, they were 11 of 34 from the field, a 32% mark. Took a lot of threes, need to hit more in the second half, and Devon Grant's going to need some help is going to be what it really boils down to. They were 5 of 7 from the charity stripe, 14 boards to go along with 6 turnovers.
Out-of-town scores.
Taking a look at that, we've got 2 finals. Buckeye win over Columbia tonight in pack play, 58-46. Also in the pack, Fairview knocks off Fireland 78-55. End of 3. Westlake leading Midview 42-38. Avon Lake over Amherst 43-36. Oberlin over Wellington 44-38 at the end of 3 at the intermission. Vermilion trailing Willard 29-23. Elyria trailing Shaker Heights 40-34 at the intermission. And another halftime score, Olmsted Falls leads Berea Mid-Park 34-27 at the half.
All right, good job, Jared Kozar, as we get ready to start the second half of play. Lorain High here in quarters 3 and 4 will be venturing left to right along your radio dial. Great to have you dialed in on AM 930 or on the app at WEOL.com. And again, huge thanks, Joe Bach, WLCS TV 20 right here in the city of Lorain. And anybody can watch it on the YouTube channel. Here we go, Day-Day Grant, right side to Jackson. Jackson on the weave, hands it off to Deontay Benajan. And now we've got the officials blowing whistles for what, I don't know. Well, away from the ball, we've got Gerald Parks calling something. Not sure what that was. Now Terry Hawk heads over to the scorer's table. By the way, the reason we know it's Terry Hawk, Mike O'Keefe, and Gerald Parks on the game tonight, because Lacey Riker down at the scorer's table took a picture of the official's name and sent it up to us. How about Lacey? Is she not the nicest lady in the world? Jordan Jackson, right of the lane, pulls up, shoots, and hits, and the Titans have the lead. 36-35. Lorain by 1. We head to the other end. Martin in the right corner, deep three off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, Tavon Pierre-Louis for Lorain High. Bounces it to Grant. Grant, top of the key. Grant into the lane, fires left side to Davis. In the corner, Benajan. 3, no. Rebound, Grant, left hand, no. Rebound, Lewis popped it home. Tavon with the putback. 38-35. And a quick timeout taken by Cleveland Heights. Michael Cruz did not like the way the third quarter started for the Tigers, and so he gets that 30-second timeout only 45 seconds into the third quarter of play. Got a special shout out to pass along our good buddy from the high school football side of things on WEOL Sports Coverage. Tom Evans has dialed in tonight. Had a chance to talk to Lucky earlier today. I won't give the specific amount, but Tom was telling me that he has dropped some considerable pounds. So hats off to Tommy Evans. We're not going to recognize him the next time we see him.
Boy, I heard about what's going on with that, and it is Balboa-like in the Evans basement, I think, as far as how that regiment's unfolding.
But the traditional WEOL get-together before the football season at the Evans house will continue, he tells me.
You don't put the grill guy out of business.
Good to have Tommy Evans dialed in tonight. I can't wait to see him. We won't recognize him, though. He's going to have to introduce himself to us. Here's Manny Hill for Cleveland Heights. Hill splits a double team, drives, scores. Nice move, Manny Hill. Makes it 38-37. Lorain's lead is 1. Second half just underway. Benajan down in the right corner. Davis, open 3, missed it. Rebound grab by Withers. Withers clears out, and now he'll bring it up himself. Withers against Tavon Pierre-Louis. Bounce down low, pass stolen away. Out of there with it, Benajan. Benajan against Withers. Took it to the big guy, missed it, but he got fouled as both of them go crashing into the photographers behind the basket to our right. Now you see, that's a kid from Jamaica, Queens, New York. See, now that I know that about Benajan, he's just going to get a lot of shout-outs, I can tell you that. Benajan at the line, shooting 2. For those of you that weren't with us in the first half, Benajan has moved into Lorain from Jamaica, Queens, New York, where I spent an unbelievable amount of time, both as a youngster and as an adult. My grandmother lived until her mid-90s, about 3 or 4 blocks from where Benajan lived. We had a great conversation about it before the game. Benajan missed a second. Offensive rebound. Lewis got his shot blocked. Tavon Pierre got his shot blocked again, but this time they'll call the foul on Withers. So Tavon Pierre-Louis said, I'm going to keep taking it to you. And they finally got Withers on the foul. Now that's 3 on Withers. So Jalen Withers. And the reason that's 3 is he got that technical foul back in the second quarter of play. Tavon Pierre-Louis hits the first free throw. So Tavon now with 9. Makes it 40-37. Line right. Davon Pierre-Louis sends it up. Rattled it in. He's a perfect 4 of 4 from the line tonight. Makes it 41-37, and now Lorain will pressure in the backcourt, and there's the steal by Davis. Got it ahead to Tavon, runner in the lane, in and out. Tavon put it back up and in, and Michael Cruz said, I need another timeout. Here come the Titans, they're up by 6. 43-37, Lorain by a half dozen, 6:23 to go. Third quarter of play. We'll take a quick timeout on the WEOL Cage matchup on AM 930, on your phone with the app, and Jared online.
At WEOL.com.
We make Marines who overpower the desire to quit with the perseverance to prevail. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
(43-37), Lorain by 6 with 6:23 to go here in the third quarter of play. Again, Cleveland Heights was up by 13 at the end of one, and they were also up by 13 in the second quarter of play. But Lorain High has come storming back, and they now have the 6-point lead. And Lorain High will once again apply that full court pressure. Withers, long inbounds pass, got it to Pitts. Pitts on the right side, back out front. Trying to spot that number. That's Manny Hill. Or excuse me, that's Christian Dillard. Dillard on the right side, and Terry Hawk has a foul against Lorain High. Called that one on Day-Day. Devon Grant picks up his second. And for Lorain High, that's their first team foul. Withers in the right corner to Dillard. He'll shoot a three. Miss it. Rebound grab by Benajan. Deontay into the forecourt, right side to Cam Davis. Davis outside the three-point arc, walks the ball into the right corner. And now Davis says, all right, get out of my way as I'll bring it out near the half-court line. And Lorain's going to spread the floor, leading by 6. Davon Pierre-Louis, right of the lane, all the way to the bucket, but he missed the layup. Rebound loose on the floor, but Davis got it away. Right side to Jackson, who drives. He scored, and he got fouled. Jackson with a chance for an and one. Jordan Jackson took it right to the rack, banked it home, and a chance for a three-point play. That foul on Cleveland Heights called on Greg Pitts. The freshman picks up his first. Here comes Anthony Johnson. Saw him play in the first half. He's the Cleveland Heights enforcer. Jackson line right. Jordan a 64% free throw shooter. Boy, he could make this a 9-point lead. Well, he missed it. A rebound grab by Johnson. So it's still an 8-point lead for Lorain, 45-37. Johnson comes right down the lane, scoop, but missed the shot. Rebound, though, grabbed by the Tigers, and then they lost it. Jackson feeds it ahead to Day-Day. Grant on the left wing, behind his back on the dribble. He scooped, no, but he got fouled. Although Gerald Parks is going to say the foul came before the shot. But if it's on Withers, that's number 4. And it is. Withers is going to head to the bench with his 4th foul. He picked up that technical in the second and 3 personal fouls here in the third. 45-37, Lorain by 8, inbounding with 5:23 to go, third quarter. Davon Pierre-Louis, left wing, got it out front to Grant, shoves it in the left corner to Jackson, lob into Lewis. Lewis in traffic in a double team, and he got tied up by Johnson, and the possession arrow belongs to Cleveland Heights. So Anthony Johnson comes in, and forces a tie-up. Tigers get the basketball. Boy, after a 27-point first quarter, Cleveland Heights has scored 10. Johnson, run of the lane, drives, missed the shot. Rebound, Cam Davis. Davis into the forecourt. Davis gave it at the half-court line to Day-Day. Grant on the left side. Grant stutter steps to the top of the key, hands it off to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis at the base of the center circle, changing hands on the dribble. Under 5 minutes to go, third quarter of play. Tavon Pierre-Lewis drives by Martin. Scoop, scored, foul! Tavon Pierre-Lewis had the one-on-one matchup with Nigel Martin. Blew right by him, took it to the rim and scored, and Martin fouled him from behind. And now Tate, as he is called, has come alive. He's got a dozen, looking for 13 at the free throw line. Boy, the Titans just have so many weapons. Oh, my. And Lewis, well, he's perfect on the night from the free throw line. He's got 13. And how about Lorain now with an 11-point lead after trailing by 13. Heights to the forecourt. On the right side, Robert Morgan. Got it down low, and fouled was Martin on the play. Mike O'Keefe has that one on Lorain High's Cam Davis. That'll be 3 on Cam. Tomorrow afternoon, girls basketball right here on WEOL. Jared and I will be at the Comet Gym. Lady Comets hosting the Shore Gals from Avon Lake. And then the big pasta dinner after the ball game at the Zavara household. Unlike the Christmas show, we're not going to give out the address because we don't know how much pasta Deb has made. Anthony Johnson out front called for the offensive foul. That's a moving screen on Johnson. So Anthony Johnson gets picked up with the foul. That's his third. He has not scored in the ball game. So here comes Lorain up by 11. 4:25 to go. After the ball game, our Eco Tree Services postgame show. Brought to you by Eco Tree Services. Here's Lewis behind his back on the dribble. Into the lane. Scoop. No. Rebound Johnson. Cam Davis knocked it out of his hands, out of bounds. Ball still belongs to Cleveland Heights. So here come the Tigers down by 11. They have seen their 13-point lead just vanish. On the right side, double team is Dillard. Got it out front, and the ball poked out of the hands of Manny Hill, out of bounds. But this is where Michael Cruz talked during our pregame show about Lorain High. Yes, they average 82 points a game, but it's their defense that makes them special. They have just throttled Cleveland Heights since that first quarter. Martin in the lane, leans in, and Cam Davis drew the charge. And Nigel Martin now with his second foul. Again, you cannot underestimate the value of Cam Davis. You look at the scorebook, he hasn't scored. But defensive plays and the harassment of defenders, drawing a charge right there, is terrific and an integral part of this ball club. Jackson, top of the key to the foul line, shoves it right corner to Davis. Got it out front to Devon Grant. Grant in between the circles. Grant still at 21 points. Down in the corner to Davis. 3-ball up. That one's no good. Rebound tip. Tavon's got it. Dropped it on the baseline to Grant. Spins. Shoots. Good! Day-Day with 23. 50-37 Lorain High. On the right side, Morgan. Morgan had it knocked out of his hands. Morgan swings it left wing, Martin. Martin will unload a 3 and hit nothing but net. Nigel Martin makes it a 50-40 ball game. Quickly, Lorain at the other end with 3 minutes to go here in the first half, or third quarter. Left side, Grant. Grant stutter steps. Devon right in front of his head coach, John Rossitano. Unloads a jumper, missed it short. Rebound, Manny Hill. Hill into the forecourt on the left side. Hill hits the brakes, double team, got it out front to Martin. He'll shoot another 3, got it! Nigel Martin, back-to-back bombs. Makes it 50-43. Well, this Heights team has some firepower, so they can shoot themselves right back into the ball game. 2:15 to go here in the third quarter. Lorain High by 7. Grant at the top of the circle. Gave it off to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis now at the top of the key, left of the lane. And he bounced it on the baseline, and it simply went out of bounds. That'll get Aaron Whitehead in for Lorain High, and now Aiden Brown will take a seat, or excuse me, will check in as well as Jordan Jackson will take a seat. 50-43, Heights has cut it to a 7-point ball game. Harris Kern now in for Cleveland Heights. Here's Johnson running the lane. Johnson just plowed into a Lorain High defender, but the defender was moving, so the foul will be called, and that's on Aiden Brown. So Aiden Brown for Lorain High picks up his first. For Lorain High, that is team foul number 3. Now Gerald Parks is saying, hey, I got a little moisture down here on the floor. .151 to go, third quarter of play. Lorain by 7, looking to clinch outright Lake Erie League championship and win their 17th game of the year. Here's Manny Hill. Hill left of the lane, into the lane, ball knocked out of his hands. Out of there with it, Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Got it ahead to Benajan. Benajan to Lewis, put it up and in with the left hand. Tavon with 15. He's got 9 here in the third quarter. And at the other end, Johnson drives and scores. First 2 points for Johnson. Makes it 52-45. Pierre-Lewis on the right side, drives by Johnson, left hand, nobody got fouled. Tavon will shoot 2. Jared, any update on some scores?
Taking a look right now, we have a final. Olmsted Falls knocks off Berea Mid-Park 70-49. Finals earlier, Fairview a winner over Fireland 78-55, and Buckeye defeats Columbia 58-46.
By the way, that was the 4th foul on Nigel Martin. So you've got Withers with 4 and now Martin with 4. As Tavon Pierre-Lewis just missed his first free throw of the night. Tavon Pierre-Lewis, line right, looking to extend Lorain High's 7-point lead. Rattled the second one in. So Tavon now with 16, and it's 53-45. Titans by 8. Martin on the left side had the ball deflected out of bounds by Aaron Whitehead. Here comes Pitts in for Cleveland Heights. And now for Lorain High, Cam Davis will get in. You'll see John Rossitano play some offense-defense right here. And now before Johnson inbounds, we've got Terry Hawk telling the crowd right down below us, say you've got to give Johnson some room down there to inbound the basketball. So we'll try it again. Johnson got it in to Dillard. Dillard at the base of the center circle. And now we've got an official timeout as somehow a towel ended up on the floor. So Johnson will inbound now closer to the half-court line. Johnson looking, lobbed it on the left side to Hill. 3-ball, no good. Rebound, Tavon Pierre-Lewis. He's going to streak to the forecourt. Tavon at the top of the circle. Pierre-Lewis with 50 seconds on the clock will hand it off to Devon Grant. Grant lobbed to Whitehead. 53-45 Titans. They've got the ball with 40 seconds to go in the third. Cam Davis in between the circles. Not sure if Lorain High will try to wind it all the way down here. It's a lot of clock. And now away from the basketball, I've got Terry Hawk making another call. Boy, Terry's been active tonight. That foul is on Christian Dillard. And for Dillard, that's his first. But again, Cleveland Heights is over the limit. And if if you're putting Grant at the line, you might as well just put the 2 points up there for Lorain High. Grant, an 87% free throw shooter. First one up, got it. Grant now with 24. Of course, Day has verbally committed to Miami of Ohio. But I would think there's others that would still be interested. Because a verbal commitment, you can always chat with other folks. As Day hit them both. Makes it 55-45. Lorain by 10 with 28 seconds to go. Cleveland Heights basketball. Here's Manny Hill, and Hill got bumped by Aaron Whitehead, and the foul on Whitehead will be his first. And for Lorain High, that is team foul number 4. But Cleveland Heights with 9 fouls here in the third quarter of play. 19.5 on the clock. Anthony Johnson now on the other side of the floor. Well, that Lorain High crowd can't yell at his back. Well, they were really giving it to him here on the near side. Johnson got it in to Dillard. Dillard in between the circles, hands it off to Manny Hill. Hill running the lane, down the lane, up, no, but foul. I'll tell you what, Manny Hill's got some hops. He's quick. 5'10" junior. And he's going to head to the free throw line and shoot 2. Foul on Lorain is on Aaron Whitehead. So here's Manny Hill. 11. He's got 11 points tonight, a 73% free throw shooter. Knocked in a pair back in the first quarter of play. Hill averages 6.3 per game. He had 7 in the first game against Lorain, and Hill hits the first. Again for the Titans, their last home regular season game, Tuesday night. EC comes to town. EC battling Bay tonight on Stream 2. What do we got on that one?
Right now is a 43-34 Bay lead at the end of 3.
Ooh. Manny Hill hit them both. Here comes Lorain, right side Whitehead, 1 on the clock, 3 in the air, nope. And that ends the third quarter. But Lorain High now has an 8-point lead, 55-47 Titans, as we head to the fourth in the WEOL cage matchup on AM 930, on your phone with the app, and Jared online.
At WEOL.com.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yes, for a nicer day, huh?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Gonna get some big ones. Anybody want to wear a life jacket?
I'm good.
No life jacket? That's a deal breaker.
Daddy, you promised.
Daniel Stevens.
Yeah, give me one of those life jackets.
This message brought to you by the National Safe Boating Council and the women who nag you. Love you.
Every year, the Salvation Army serves nearly 30 million people in need. That's one person every second. So by the time you've finished watching this, 30 more lives will have been changed for good. All thanks to your donations.
Thank you.
Lorain basketball as we start the fourth quarter of play. Titans up 55-47. Right side Cam Davis got it out front to Jordan Jackson. Jackson in between the circles to Tavon Pierre-Louis. Tavon at the top of the circle will shoot a 3, miss it. Rebound though, Devon Grant left of the lane, dropped it underneath to Jackson, off the glass and good. Jordan Jackson with a 13-point ball game, and Lorain High with a 10-point lead, 57-47. Coming down the lane, Manny Hill lost the ball, got it back and banked it home, left of the lane. Hill makes it 57-49. Tavon Pierre-Louis running the lane, into the lane, all the way to the bucket, and he scored. Boy, Tavon having a second half. He's got 20 in the ball game 14 of which have come in quarters 3 and 4. At the other end, in the left corner, Pitts with a 3, rattled out. Offensive rebound, though, grabbed by Hill. Bank shot, no. Rebound, Tavon Pierre-Louis. Here come the Titans with a 10-point lead. Withers back in with the 4 fouls, as is Nigel Martin. Pierre-Louis drives, no. Martin didn't want to foul him, but Tavon missed the layup. They feed it down the floor to Hill, who gave it to Dillard, put it up and in, and a foul. Dillard with a chance for a 3-point play. Devon Grant, after scorching the Nets in the first half for 21 with a 4-point third quarter, he leads all scorers with 25. Tavon Pierre-Louis with 20. And here's Lillard at the free throw line. He drew that foul from Day. That's 3 on Grant as Lillard hit the free throw. And the 3-point play makes it 59-52. Tigers hanging around. Top of the circle, Cam Davis. Swings it right side to Jackson. Jackson on the right sideline. Again, Lorain here in the second half, left to right on your radio dial. Cam Davis now with the ball in the center circle. Threw it to Benejan in front of the scorer's table. Right back to Cam Davis, right side to Day. Day on the right wing. Outside the 3-point arc on the left-hand dribble. Grant matched up against Dillard. Grant lob left side to Tavon Pierre-Louis. Spins to the bucket and scores. Tavon Pierre-Louis. Boy, what a monster second half for Tavon. Makes it 61-52. John Rossitano takes a 30-second timeout.
While we do that, we'll take a look at some scores. These are all finals that we have so far. Clearview a winner over Brookside tonight, 64-49. Again, Buckeye knocking off Columbia 58-46. Fairview downs Firelands 78-55. Olmsted Falls a winner over Berea Mid-Park 70-49. North Ridgeville upends North Olmsted 75-55. And this one just went final. Avon Lake defeats Amherst 55-43.
So, with Clearview and Fairview winning tonight, that sets up next Friday night's winner-take-all showdown in that Patriot Athletic Conference. Clearview and Fairview are tied in the Patriot Athletic Conference insofar as that Stripes division is concerned. With a win tonight, each team now 13-1 in conference play. They'll square off next Friday night at Clearview at the Frank and Ann Sally Memorial Gymnasium. We'll have that game on WEOL. You think that gym will be jumping next Friday night? Oh, my goodness.
Somebody's going to slow down Fairview. It's going to have to be jumping. So that should be a good ball game. If you're a Clippers fan, you like the fact that you get the home cooking.
So that's next Friday night right here on WEOL. We've got plenty of basketball between now and then, but boy, circle that one on your calendar. Off the Lorain High 30-second timeout. Cleveland Heights with the basketball. 61-52. Out front, we've got a pick called, and a foul is called on Anthony Johnson. So Johnson had checked back in. We mentioned he's the enforcer. He's thinking he set a clean screen. Terry Hawk didn't think so. And Michael Cruz thought it was a clean screen as well. Lorain with the ball and a 9-point lead. Grant near the half-court line. Cross court to Cam Davis on the right wing. Davis matched up against Jalen Withers. It's a smart matchup there. Grant heading into the lane. Drive, scoop, no. Rebound grab by Cleveland Heights. On the right side, Martin fakes the three, drives to the bucket, and he got fouled. So Martin heading to the free throw line. Fouled on the play. That one's on Tavon Pierre-Louis. That's his third. And so here's Nigel Martin heading to the free throw line. Got an 18-point ball game cooking. Misses that first free throw, though. Nigel Martin, line left, has that gold 12 on the back of his black uniform. Second one up and in. 61-53. We still have a ball game here with 5:05 to go. Tavon Pierre-Lewis against Johnson. Tavon drives by him in the right corner to Davis. Out front to Jordan Jackson. And Lorain will do it all over again. Jackson comes right down the lane. Underneath. Pow! The two-handed slam by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. 63-53 as Tavon Pierre-Lewis brings the Titan fans to their feet. Out front, three ball way off the mark. Saved in by Cleveland Heights, but it's saved in out of bounds by Withers. And now the Titan fans are into it. The Tavon Pierre-Lewis dunk gave him 24 points on the night. Well, Day dominated things in the first half. Tavon here in the second half. Pretty nice 1-2 punch. Tavon Pierre-Lewis near the half-court line. Got it to Cam Davis. Right back to Pierre-Lewis. He's double-teamed. Lob on the right side to Jackson. 4:10 to go. Jackson inside the half-court line. Jackson matched up against Nigel Martin. Now they feed it off to Devon Grant. Grant left of the circle, left of the lane, hesitates, leans in, bank shot, spun out on him. Rebound Martin, or excuse me, that's Withers. And then Withers got fouled. That one's on Jordan Jackson. That's 3 on Jackson. And we're going to go all the way to the other end where Jalen Withers will shoot 1-1. Tomorrow morning, 9 to 11, the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up. Presented by AM 930. Glad to bring it to you, 9 to 11. Yours truly, Ziesel Tide. Tomorrow morning. Withers, first one up and in. Jalen Withers, 7 points in the ball game. Line left. Withers spins that basketball. Second one on the way, got it. Withers now with 8. 63-55, Lorain by 8. Tavon Pierre-Lewis into the forecourt against Harris Kern. So Kern has replaced Johnson. Johnson sits down with 4 fouls. Cam Davis matched up against Withers. West the smallest guy on the floor against the biggest. Pierre-Lewis left of the lane, drives and scores off the glass. And Tavon is now the game's high scorer at 26. Right wing Withers, 3 in and out. Rebound though, grabbed by Cleveland Heights. Tavon has had back-to-back career highs of 32 as wide open and driving and scoring is Christian Dillard to make it 65-57. So he's only 6 away from his career high in 3 straight games. Here's Davis, double teamed in the center circle, and they'll call a foul. And it's on Withers, and that's it. Jalen Withers has fouled out. The Louisville Cardinal recruit will sit down for the remainder of this one with an 8-point ball game. So Withers is done, and Cam Davis is at the free throw line. Cam has only shot 8 free throws all year. Now, Cam isn't an offensive player, so he's not a guy that's going to draw a lot of fouls. Davis, first one up and in. So he is now 6 of 9 from the free throw line, and that's his first point tonight. Line right, Cam with number 2, missed it. A rebound grab by Cleveland Heights as Dillard brings it to the forecourt. Christian Dillard comes around a Johnson pick. Dillard out front against Tavon Pierre-Lewis, swings it on the right wing to Manny Hill. Hill top side to Dillard. He drives, he scored. Christian Dillard makes it 66-59. 2:35 to go, fourth quarter here at Lorain. Titans with the ball in a 7-point lead. Devon Grant top side against Dillard. Number 3 against number 3. Grant down the left side to Whitehead. Whitehead deep in the left corner. Got it back out front to Grant. Grant right in front of John Rossitano. Grant weaves his way in between the circles in the right corner to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis underneath the basket. Up in and foul! Oh, what a move by Tavon! And Tavon just got teed up. I'll tell you what, Tavon did a little John right there. And Gerald Park said, I'm not going to stand for that. So Tavon Pierre-Louis with a chance for an and one, but again, he picked up a big technical foul. Basketball is an emotional game, but you've got to hold those in check. Pierre-Louis, free throw rattled out. So 68-59. Who'd they tee up? Did they tee up Cleveland Heights? Or did they give? All right, now hold on here. I'm confused. I thought Tavon had an and one. Why did he get 2 free throws? There you go. Okay, the PA announcer just said the second free throw did not count. I was going to say that shot went in. All right, now we go to the other end. 2 technical free throws for Cleveland Heights. First one up and in for Nigel Martin. So Martin now with a 20-point game. Second one good. So we've got a 68-61 ball game. It's not over yet. 2:13 to go. Heights with the ball, down by 7. Johnson throws it into Dillard. Although for Heights, Withers has fouled out of the ball game. Their big 6'9" premier Division I player. Johnson in between the circles. 2 minutes to go. Johnson for 3, in and out. Rebound though, grabbed by Martin, and he got fouled. Martin going back up. Got fouled by Aaron Whitehead. That's 3 on Whitehead. After the ball game, our EcoTree Services post-game show brought to you by EcoTree Services. Nigel Martin shooting 2. Well, these are huge. In and out on the first.
Got a final here over on our stream number 2 game. If you were listening, Bay knocks off EC 58-42. So if you were dialed into that one, maybe hop on board on this one. Again, other finals, Avon Lake knocks off Amherst 55-43. Ridgeville winner over North Olmsted 75-55. Olmsted falls over Brewery Mid-Park 70-49. Clearview upends Brookside 64-49. Columbia loses to Buckeye 58-46, and Fairview over Fireland 78-55.
All right, here we go. Lorain with a 6-point lead. Grant into the forecourt. Grant on the right wing. Grant on the right sideline. Here comes the double team. Got it out front to Jackson. Jackson, here the double team again. Ball knocked out of his hands. Jordan, left corner to Tavon Pierre-Louis. Threw it back to Jackson. Jackson, lob near the half-court line to Day Grant. Ball knocked out of his hands. Out of there with it comes Heights. Day then tapped it to Jackson. To Pierre-Louis. Pow! Oh, what a sequence! And a timeout taken on the floor. The ball got knocked out of Grant's hands. Lying on his back, he tapped it to Jackson, who found Pierre-Louis, who hammered it home. Wow. (70-62), and a timeout taken with Lorain up by 8.
Boy, that rim's getting a workout on that. I guess that would be the west side of the gymnasium when you come in here to Lorain, and this one has been kind of like we talked about Tommy Evans being Balboa on that elliptical. This has been a heavyweight fight unto itself, and really happened where I think Heights came out there, set the tone, and at one point towards the middle of the second quarter, Lorain, I think, looked at him and said, "Is that the best you got?" And the answer was probably, yeah, it was.
Wow. There have been some plays tonight that have absolutely electrified this crowd, and that was one of them. Joe Bach, when's this going up on YouTube? I got to check this one out on the WLCS TV 20 YouTube channel. I may turn down the volume. Here we go. Lorain by 8 with 1:20 left as Cleveland Heights has the basketball. Into the forecourt is Dillard. Dillard out front against Tavon Pierre-Lewis. He lost the ball. Lillard got tied up, or no? Timeout taken by Michael Cruz. Full timeout, Cleveland Heights. We'll take a break. 1:13 to go. Actually, it's a 30. All right, we'll keep it right here on the 30-second timeout. So a 30-second timeout taken by Cleveland Heights. And they are now out of timeout. So that does it for Michael Cruz. So again, we want to remind you, busy day tomorrow. Nick Abraham's Saturday Sports Wrap-Up, 9 to 11. Yours truly, Z's Old Tide tomorrow morning. We're going to have a lot of fun. We've got some winning coaches already that we're aware of, so we'll track those guys down. And then I'll get a little bit of a break. And then girls basketball tomorrow afternoon. The Shore Gals from Avon Lake, 18-3 on the year. You know, we have a lot of fun with Dave Zavarro. We kid around with him. We joke around with him. The Christmas show every year on the wrap-up over at his house. But that guy can flat coach. I mean, 100th career win as the head coach of the Shore Gals on Monday night against the 2-seed Westlake Lady Demons. 18-3 season this year for the Shore Gals. Taking on an Amherst team under first-year head coach Jay Valadez, 13-8. So they're having a very nice year as well.
It's going to be a competitive ball game over there. It always is. There's the Amherst connection that you have. So unto itself, it's going to be a competitive game. But hats off to Dave and his staff. They've done a great job over there this year. They were building for this one for a while, and it's really worked out.
So Cleveland Heights out of timeouts. And off their last timeout, inbounds goes to Nigel Martin. Martin drives, and he scores. So Nigel Martin makes it a 70-64 ball game with 1 minute to go. Tavon Pierre-Lewis in the backcourt, ahead to Whitehead. Whitehead drives against Martin, throws it back out front to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis fouled. Now, Lewis has 30 points. The last 2 games, he has scored 32. And that's his career high. He's shooting 2 right here. So can Tavon Pierre-Lewis knock them both in and once again match his career high? Good on the first. So Tavon with 1 more coming. He had 32 on Saturday against Garfield Heights, 32 on Tuesday at Maple Heights, and 32 tonight as he hits the second. Wow. Lorain by 10 with 50 seconds to go. Hall on the right wing. Hall out front, right side to Martin. Martin harassed by Grant, and they'll call a reach-in foul on Day-Day. John Rossitano shaking his head going, why would Day-Day foul right there? We're up by 10. Well, Grant commits the foul, and that's 4. That puts Martin at the free throw line. Tell you what, this young man can play. He's got 24 tonight. And now he's stuck on 24 as he misses that first free throw. And give Cleveland Heights credit. I mean, they have battled the entire way. They didn't back down from this Titan team. Martin, second one, spun out on him, although we got a lane violation against Cleveland Heights anyway. So even if it had gone in, it wouldn't have counted. So it's Lorain ball up by 8. Grant into the forecourt. Grant with a stutter step. Grant shoves it right side to Whitehead. Got it out front to Tavon. And Tavon is fouled with 32.7 to go. Well, Tavon can now set a new career high because he's shooting 2. Boy, this young man has taken his game to a whole nother level. And now John Rossitano saying, what are you calling right here? I'm not sure what John's unhappy about. Tavon Pierre-Lewis, first one up, short. That's a double bonus. Hey! How did they miss that? If each team has 10 fouls. In the meantime, Cleveland Heights comes to the other end They turn it over and a foul is called on Heights. Okay, I am totally confused unless the scoreboard's wrong. And again, we've mentioned before, the scoreboard is not official, but Heights had 9 fouls in the third quarter. Well, anyway, it's unfortunate for Tavon because he would have had one more to go for his career high. So here's Whitehead. First one bounced every inch of the rim and fell off. Did I miss something there? No, okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something. So it's 73-64. We're down to 24 seconds to go. Whitehead with one more coming. Good on the second. So it's a 10-point lead for Lorain. So they're going to win their 17th game. Left wing 3-ball, no good. Rebound Jackson. Jackson's pass stolen away by Hall. Hall drives. Hall scores. Makes it 74-66. And my sense is that's going to be our final. Grant on the right wing. Grant gets by Johnson. Well, Johnson grabbed him and fouled him. Well, Johnson fouls out. He said, well, I'm not getting on the bus with any fouls left. So Johnson fouls Grant. And Devon basically automatic from the free throw line. Will shoot 2 to end the ball game as Pitts will check in for Johnson. Again, after the ball game, our EcoTree Services post-game show brought to you by EcoTree Services. We'll make sure we track down John Rossitano, the head coach of Lorain High. As Day shoots 2, line right. Well, that doesn't happen too often. This is the first. Again, Day at 87% on the year. He's got one more coming. 3.6 on the clock. Grant line right will put the finishing touches on this one as he sends it up and in. So Day will finish up with 26. Inbounds to Martin. Martin to the half-court line. Martin to the right side. 3-ball up. Nope. That ends the ball game. Lorain High has won 8 in a row, and the Titans are now 17-1 overall. Our final here at the Titan Gym. Lorain 75, Cleveland Heights 66. Congratulations to Lorain. They have also clinched outright a Lake Erie League championship for the Titans. 75-66 our final. We'll be back. We'll wrap it all up on the EcoTree Services postgame show following this timeout. On the WEOL cage matchup, it's on AM 930. It's on your phone with the app. Jared, we're online.
At WEOL.com.
Hey, we missed you at the game last week. Is everything all right?
I just haven't been feeling like me lately.
You know I'm here for you, right?
That's a cut. Beautiful. Acting is one thing. Talking about suicide in real life is another.
In the military, you take challenges head on.
And now it's your turn to do the same for our veterans.
Be there.
Learn how you can start the conversation at BeThereForVeterans.com.
Bad company coming out of the break as we welcome you back to the Titan Gym here at Lorain High, where once again the Lorain High basketball team have sent the home folks home happy as Lorain High rallies from a 13-point first quarter deficit and beats Cleveland Heights here at the Titan Gym tonight 75-66. With the win, congratulations, Lorain High. They are outright Lake Erie League champions, as Lorain is now 10-0 in the conference, a glittering 17-1 on the year. They've won 8 in a row. Give Cleveland Heights credit. Boy, they battled. They did not back down from this Lorain High team, but Heights, with the setback, falls to 6-4 in the LEL, and Michael Cruz's team is now 9-8. overall. Recapping it for you, as I said, Cleveland Heights got off to the great start as Cleveland Heights in the first quarter of play hit 5 3-balls. They were on fire, and they jumped out to a 13-point lead at the end of one at 27-14, led by 13 again at 29-16. And then Lorain High started making their move. They got it down to 6 on a 4-point play by Devon Grant at 29-23. Got it down to a 6-point game at 32-26, and then caught Cleveland Heights at 32 before Cleveland Heights went into the locker rooms with a 1-point lead at 35-34. But you sense that the momentum was on Lorain's side, and that's exactly how it went in the third quarter of play, as Lorain High came out in that third quarter led by Tavon Pierre-Louis, who had 12 third quarter points. Titans outscored Cleveland Heights 21-12 in that third, took an 8-point lead into the fourth at 55-47. Cleveland Heights kept hanging around, but they couldn't get it to within a single possession, as Lorain High just maintained that 6 to 8 point lead, perhaps up to 9 at a couple of points in that fourth quarter, and Lorain High ends up winning by 9 at 75-66. Boy, it was an entertaining game here at the Titan Gym. Pretty much a packed house. Both fan bases were into it. Some electrifying plays. High school basketball in Northeast Ohio on a Friday night. Boy, this was what it was all about here at Lorain High. As far as the individual scoring numbers are concerned, for Cleveland Heights, as I mentioned, now 6-4 in the LEL and 9-8 overall. Off the bench, Robert Morgan did not score. Harris Kern did not score. Anthony Johnson came off the bench, and he had 2 points before he fouled out. Starting 5, Greg Pitts finished up with a 6-point ball game. Jalen Withers, the 6'9 senior heading to Louisville, was held to 8 points tonight before he fouled out in the fourth quarter of play. Christian Dillard had a 9-point ball game. Manny Hill with 17, and Nigel Martin, boy, he was impressive tonight. Nigel Martin finished up with 24. For Lorain High, off the bench, Aiden Brown did not score. Aaron Whitehead had 2 free throws in the fourth quarter of play. Aaron with a 2-point ball game. Starting 5 for Lorain High, I've got unofficially Cam Davis with 1 point in the ball game. Deontay Benejan also with a single point. Jordan Jackson with 13. And again, that terrific 1-2 punch of Day-Day and Tay-Tay. Grant Devon with 26 in the ball game, 21 of which came in the first half of play. And for the third game in a row, Tavon Pierre-Louis matches his career high with 32. He had 32 on Saturday against Garfield Heights, 32 on Tuesday against Maple Heights. I've got him, and the scoreboard has him with 32 tonight against Cleveland Heights. Lorain High with a total of 75, quarters of 14, 20, 21, and 20. And that all adds up to a Lorain High 75-66 win. And nice enough to join us on the post-game show to talk about his team's victory tonight, John Rossitano, the head coach of the Titans. And John, a little bit of a rough start there as Cleveland Heights jumped out to that 13-point lead. But, well, your kids obviously didn't panic, weathered the storm, and really found a way to just control the basketball game from that point on. But your thoughts?
Yeah, well, the way they were shooting that first quarter, we just kept telling them, if they're going to continue to shoot like that, we're in a whole lot of trouble. Just you got to grind the game out now. You know, just make them keep trying to make tough shots, and eventually the game will come back to us. And it did. We got it back to, I think, a 1-point game at halftime, and then we did things we needed to do to close it out.
John, I thought Michael Cruz of Cleveland Heights actually paid your team a great compliment during our pregame interview. Michael said, yeah, Lorain scores 82 points a game, but what makes that team so great and so tough is their defense. Yeah. It's the defense that creates 82 points a game, and it was your defense that got you back in it tonight.
The defense got us back into it. And like the first quarter, they just made some difficult shots. I mean, they shot the crap out of the ball, and, give credit to that. But, we know that, when push comes to shove, what separates us to other really good teams like Cleveland Heights is we defend and we rebound. And I thought after first quarter, when the game got back to us, we did a lot of really good things to separate ourselves on the scoreboard.
Coach, when Day-Day's in a zone like that in the first half of play, I know you're coaching every second of the game, but do you ever just marvel at what he's doing?
Well, I mean, some of them shots he hits, if anybody else is shooting at you, you're saying don't shoot that, but you got to let, you get an all-Ohio point guard, one of the best players in Ohio. You give him a real long leash, and he has a long leash, and he's terrific. He shoots it. He just does everything out there. And, what about the hustle play at the end of the game? He dove on the floor twice, tipped the ball for a dunk. You got one of the best players in Ohio making that kind of hustle play in that kind of game. And that's why these guys are winners. They know how to win. And what a great high school environment. I mean, it was an incredible environment. And our fans love to see good, hard basketball, and that's what they saw tonight again.
And, of course, the 1-2 punch of Day-Day and Tavon Pierre-Lewis, third game in a row, 32 for Tavon. And, boy, he came out in that second half with a mindset that I can really take control of this game.
We told him because he struggled a little bit early on. Missed a couple shots at the basket. We told him to stay aggressive. Stay aggressive. They can't guard you. And they couldn't guard him. I mean, actually, he could have had more. He missed a couple down the stretch, but he's a matchup nightmare. I mean, 6'6", 220. He's athletic. He's strong. He's tough, can handle the ball, and he's a tough guard for anybody in high school basketball.
And I know you love this player. 1 point tonight, but Cam Davis tonight made plays that were instrumental in this game aside from just the 1 point. Again, harassing Martin all over the floor, creating deflections, creating turnovers. That kid is a special part of this team.
He not only, he defends hard, but his deflections just, it causes other teams to get out of the flow of their offense. And, just the little things that he does that the average fan doesn't get, but we definitely get, and that's why he's out there.
Coach, you clinched the LEL championship tonight, but as we talked about during the pregame earlier today, this team has its eyes set, its sights set on a long journey in March. Boy, how close are you getting to where you want this team to be?
We got some. I still think we gambled too much defensively in the half court. We put ourselves in a bind on occasion. We got to correct that a little bit, but. For the most part, we're getting to where we need to be. I thought we had pretty good game management down the stretch, got fouled when we need to get fouled. And, here, I'll give an example, Tim. These guys didn't want to cut the net down for conference championship. They want a bigger net, not the net on our court. They want a net on another court somewhere down the road. And that's their goal. And that's their mindset, and that's a terrific mindset to have.
By the way, if you hear from your daughter...
Oh, yeah.
She did get the shout-out.
Okay,
she may still be listening if you want to say hi to her.
She's listening. She's a great girl, and she can't stand not being here watching our kids play. And but it's second best is listening on WEOL, listen to you guys, and she just loves the little shout-outs she gets.
All right, my friend.
Okay,
we
Tim,
appreciate you taking the trip off, man. Thanks, John. That's John Rossitano, the head coach of Lorain High, joining us here on the Postgame show. Again, Lorain High with a 75-66 win over Cleveland Heights here at the Titan Gym. All right, I'm getting a little froggy. I'm getting a little raspy. So we're going to call it a night. Many people to thank as far as tonight's broadcast was concerned. Jared Kozar on site, a great job in getting things all set up here. Again, Joe Bach, my good buddy from WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. Again, if you're listening right now, Joe will have this up on TV 20 pretty quickly. And again, don't forget about their YouTube channel. It's awesome. Everything Lorain Schools oriented is up there. You can follow them on Twitter, follow them on Facebook. TV 20, great big thanks to you. Terry Howell, unbelievable work back in the studios tonight. Great work from Terry. Biggest thanks to you, the listeners. You hope you enjoyed it. 75-66 and a great game. And as John just said, great atmosphere here at Lorain. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning, 9 to 11, the Nick Abraham Saturday Sports Wrap-Up on AM 930 WEOL. So until then, Tim Elkhorn saying once again, thank you very much for listening. And from the Titan Gym here at Lorain, so long, everybody.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.